If you're wanting to be an online teacher, you are probably wondering if you've got the stuff within you and the stuff in your house. So today we're going to go over just exactly what do you need to become an online teacher. Hey there, I'm Allison from onlineteacherallison.com, where stay-at-home parents learn how to teach online so they can earn an income from home. All right, so you're probably wondering if you got this stuff. Before we get into it, sorry about this. Had some pepper on my hands, touched my eye. It's getting better. So if you are a stay-at-home parent wanting to become an online teacher without any sort of experience, you're probably wondering if you got the stuff, if you have the knowledge or the capability to become an online teacher. And my answer is yes, you do. So the very first thing I feel like you need to be an online teacher before any education, before any stuff is bought, before anything is done anywhere, is that you have a heart to teach. Whether you choose to teach adults or you choose to teach children, it doesn't matter as long as you have that heart to teach, because you have to bring your all to all of your classes, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel good, even when you would rather be anywhere else but working. So I'm not saying you have to overwork yourself to death, but these things do come up, and it's just inevitable that eventually you will have to teach tired. You will have to teach where you're just not feeling great because you don't want to cancel. Or you will have to teach when something else has come up, or you'd rather be going somewhere else. So you have to have that heart to teach, and you have to have the grit to know when to push through and when you really should call and cancel it in, because that can penalize you. If you checked my video for the biggest mistakes brand new online teachers make, cancellations is one of them, because you do get penalized. And depending on where you go, depends on how heavily you get penalized. So you have to have the grit and the understanding to know when the penalization is worth it, because it can be. We want you to feel good, and when you should just power through. So that is the very first thing. If you feel like you've got those, then let's keep watching, because whether you have experience or don't, whether you have a degree or don't, this is for all of you moms and dads and parents at home, okay? So you've decided you've got the grit and you've got the heart to teach. Now let's talk about personality traits first off, and then we're going to go into the stuff, because personality traits are a lot harder to buy, right? I can't go to the store and pick up a batch of patience as much as I would like to some days with my son. I have to really work on building that and improving that within myself, because that's one of the things you're going to need. You're not going to get the star student every class. Some students are going to be low. It happens. Some students are going to be wild and crazy and not want to sit still. That happens too. Some students are going to be grumpy and moody and teenagers and not want to be there. And you're going to have to be ready to deal with all of that. And most of that comes from patience and understanding that they're learning, they're students, and they're humans too. I don't have good days every day. And while I have to fake it while I'm in class, it doesn't mean they do. I know, right? So once you feel like you have the patience for this, and if you're a stay-at-home parent or a parent in general, you've been building your patience since day one, right? Since that first sleepless night came in and all you wanted to do was just turn off the monitor and go back to sleep. But you've been working on that patience and that love and that stamina. This is why I think being a parent makes you a great online teacher, because you've got the goods, you've got this stuff. So that's really, personality-wise, that's it, because you don't have to be the most bubbly teacher. You don't have to be the most serious and stern teacher. You can be exactly who you are, and your students are going to find you. Now, it is hard when students don't decide to stay with you. I talked about that in this video. My online students are leaving because they're looking for their perfect match, just like you are. And everyone is happier all around when the student and the teacher are the perfect match for online classes, because you just mesh well and class is fun and it's exactly where you want to be. So now let's talk about the stuff you can go out and buy. If you buy anything, I always recommend you buy yourself a headset with an attached microphone. This is my favorite one. It's the MPOW. I'll have it linked down below for you. It is an affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything extra. I just get a very small percentage that helps me continue teaching you how to teach online. But you don't feel like you have to go get headphones, because you remember those headphones that we used to have that, like, they were the earbuds with the strings and there was a microphone attached? That works perfectly well. Just plug that into your computer. You're probably wondering if you need a webcam. My answer is no. I did not upgrade to my new webcam until I had been teaching online for like 2 years. you're fine. If you find your room is really dark, though, while a webcam can help, a cheaper alternative would be to change your light bulbs and your ceiling fan or whatever you got up there to like the bright white, true bright ones. None of the like the low wattage that's super dim. So like you can see now, usually I record during the daytime, but it's been a really crazy couple of weeks. So I'm 1, batch recording today, and 2, it's 8 p.m. So the sun is going down in the window and you can see that it's kind of made like shade on the side of my face. So kind of play with that as you are setting up your area. I could change these lights, but usually I'm okay. And I was going to use my laptop brightness, but the fan was really loud. So it's okay. It really truly is. You guys can still see what I'm saying. It's not like half of my mouth is hidden, because if my mouth was in shadow, I can't even make a shadow. No. Then it would be really hard to catch what I'm saying, especially as a new ESL teacher, or especially as an ESL teacher. You don't have to be new for this. Especially as an ESL teacher where you're teaching students where to put their tongue. Let me tell you how many times I got up close and personal to the camera with my tongue. Because if you think about it, we're going to go on a little linguistics tangent here. Every sound is formed so differently with your tongue. Sometimes it's in between your teeth. Sometimes it's right up behind them. Sometimes it's back further in the mouth. If you really think about how those sounds are made, some kids have trouble. My son, we are working on the K sound right now. So you form it like further back and it sounds like a T. So we're really working on that. Anyways, tangent there. So you don't need a webcam, especially if your lighting's fine. If it's not, do that. If you really want to upgrade, I'm reading mine right now, the Logitech HD 1080p camera. I need to get my eyes checked. That one is a really highly loved by online teachers everywhere, and I also love it. You can also find it on like Lightning Deal on Amazon if you keep an eye on it. It's not every day. The next thing I recommend is props. Now, I don't want you to go out and buy a ton of props. I don't want you to go buy any props. I just want you to raid what your kids have. I did end up buying some props personally, and the ones I did buy were like branded mascot things for my specific company. So this is Dino, and he was the mascot for VIP Kid way back in its heyday. So I have a bunch of Dino stuff. So that is what I did end up buying because the kids loved Dino. But again, you don't have to do that when it comes to teaching certain words and phrases and sentences. Raid what your kids have, and if they don't, pull up a picture on your phone if you really need it, or a GIF or GIF. What camp are you? It doesn't matter. The only thing I would definitely recommend you do and buy, if you have to, is a reward system. A lot of online platforms require rewards, and they're not always built in. So VIP Kid had a built-in star system where I could just click and it would give them stars. But I also like printed some out. So this is glitter cardstock. You can buy it in a pack on sale. You can also buy it singularly, like at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or wherever where they sell the scrapbook paper. You can just buy the single sheets. I cut this out with my Cricut. You can also buy it on Etsy if you don't want to do all that nonsense. You don't want to like trace it and cut it by hand if you don't have a Cricut. They're not usually expensive on Etsy. Otherwise, you can find a friend that does have one. Or you can find something at home that'll work. So I've seen teachers have like, I think it's Cat and Jack. I could be very wrong, but it's like an ice cream cone and then scoops, stack, 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 and stack. That was a reward they did. Some like magnetized it behind them. They've also done like whiteboard rewards. So they take their whiteboard. This has notes on it from like another video, so I'm not going to show it. But they do like hangman without like the hanging man, or they draw a picture and they say, guess the picture. I actually have a video on that here if you want a little more information. So I'm not going to go into it. Go ahead and click that if you want to see more. So I would definitely recommend to think about a reward system. For me, I just said, you get a star, and then I click the star button. If they don't have the star button, you can still give them stars. Just have 5. Usually 5 is the sweet spot. And we did a lot of high fives. There's a lot of like informal rewards there too. High fives, singing, dancing. Whoever you are as an online teacher, you're going to learn how to build that in. Now, finally, let's talk your computer, because my computer, when I first started teaching online, was not up to the task of how to teach online. Sorry, my laptop's going to sleep over here. And when I was teaching online classes, it was laggy. So all of the animations within the slides, they weren't really animating, and I kept freezing, and my student kept freezing, and nothing was really. You don't want that. So I recommend having a newer computer. Now, it kind of gets murky when you talk about processing systems and RAM and all of this stuff, but definitely at least 8 gigs of RAM. I definitely recommend more because it's busy. It's really heavy on your RAM as you're running an online class. My rule of thumb tends to be if your computer can handle a busy Zoom session with like a ton of people in it. So if you've ever been to one of those like free Zoom session things, then it can handle an online teaching class with you and a student or you and a small group of students. So with my old computer before I upgraded, it could not handle a busy Zoom session. It got laggy. I missed things. It froze. So I knew it was time to upgrade. What I personally have now is a MacBook Pro. It is a 2020, I think. It's a couple years old. It's still working great. My biggest complaint about it is that there's not enough memory. I'm looking to upgrade specifically for the memory. But it does work fine. Now, I want more memory because I make videos for you guys, and sometimes I have a couple on my computer before they're all edited or before I'm done with it, and that's where I still have some trouble. But that's because of my videos. If you're not planning on making videos and saving them to your computer, you're fine. So if you buy anything, it's a new computer. And if that's not in the budget right now, then online teaching is probably not it for you right now. And that's okay. Online teaching is not for everybody. Like if you got all the stuff just not the computer, you really do need the good computer because eventually it will come back and your students won't learn, so they're not going to stick around with you. They're going to find a teacher who's not laggy, or the company's going to get wind of it and they're going to reprimand you. And you're going to be frustrated. Maybe it'll break your computer. I don't know. Oh, the sun really just went down. So, I would definitely recommend a computer, and if that's not in the cards, that is okay. You can find a way to save up for a computer if this is really what you want to do, or you can find something that provides computers. Usually it's not online teaching, it's some other work-at-home gig, or you can find something else. Now, I would love to have you here. I would love for you to love online teaching as much as I do, but I understand that it's not for everybody, whether it's having the goods in your personality or it's having the goods within your computer. That was a big purchase we made. We actually pulled it out of savings when I bought my computer, and as I got bookings, I paid us back over a couple of months. So it is something you can do and think about and talk with your partners about because it's a big decision, it's a big purchase, and success online teaching doesn't happen overnight. It's something that does take time. For me, it took about 6 months before I really got going consistently with a good group of kids that kept coming back again and again, and I could count on them. So while you are having those discussions, those money discussions, that is something to think about. I hope if this is what you want to do, you have a partner that bets on you, because my husband bet on me, and I'm so thankful he did every single day. And if not, come talk to me about it if you need to talk to me about it. Otherwise, that's it. You've got the goods. You've got the skill set to do this. And if you want to learn more, if you want to know where to teach online, grab my free download. It'll help match you to a really good online teaching platform, depending on your experience that you already have at onlineteacherallyson.com/platform. And I also have a live training that teaches you how to get hired as an online teacher. If you go to the link, it's currently waitlisted, and that's not because it's full, it's because it's not currently open. onlineteacherallyson.com/get hired. I cannot wait to see you around. I hope you're having the greatest week ever, and we'll chat soon. Bye.